Hello, and how lucky you are to be joining me for Tea with Leigh, the show where we drink and spill the tea with me, Leigh Joel Scott, famous actor. Today, we are delighted to have in the studio / my spare bedroom, Deneen Melody, a dear friend of mine, a voiceover actor, a dancer, and someone who's very patient. This episode, we all learn a lot of things. I learned that I should do a lot more research before interviewing someone, and Deneen learned how to be incredibly patient with someone who should have done a lot more research before interviewing someone. Deneen is a marvelous human being and exceptionally talented, almost as much as me. In fact, you might know Deneen from her leading role in Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, where she plays Zoe, aka Vesperia. She's Stella in Rainbow High, Sandrone / Marionette in Genshin Impact. You can hear her as Anzu in Romantic Killer on Netflix. She's also in Tower of God, Fire Emblem, Pokemon Masters, EX, Cookie Run Kingdom, and even a cabbage in Cooking Companions, which you're about to hear I have never heard of in my life. In fact, the only things I had heard of were Romantic Killers on Netflix and Rainbow High, and that's because I'm in them, which apparently is the key to me giving a good interview. I have to have been in most of my guests' previous work. So settle in, pop the kettle on, and prepare to bite your tongue as we chat with my dear friend, Deneen Melody. You have a cabbage with you. What's the cabbage's name? Does that have a name?
Cabbage.
Now I wonder.
This is a character I voice.
Oh, fantastic!
It's Cabbage from Cooking Companions, and all they say is cabbage. So I mean, but
wow, we're doing it live.
She was just so cute.
Yeah, adorable. I like that you kept the tag on too, so it'll only increase in value.
Exactly.
But we met years ago.
In a class.
And I just, you've stuck in my mind ever since.
What?
In a negative way, mainly, but I remember.
That's how it usually goes.
That's
Not surprised.
Honestly, I frightened myself. But I remember walking out of that. It was a van clinic, a Voice Actors Network clinic. And I remember walking out and going that was the best clinic I've done. Everyone is so talented. You were there. I mean, I was there. Who was that?
Jenny was
Yokobori. Of course, yes. Jenny Yokobori was there.
We love you, Jenny.
We love you, Jenny. I think Steph Sutherland must have been there because she's amazing. I forget who else was there, but it was a great class.
Yes.
And it was just delightful.
And I want to say, because just driving here, I was thinking about it, how I met you and how you've always made an impact on me because you're just so charming.
Stop
Genuinely
it,
charming. We
She's
meet
right.
so many people in the business and everything. And it's but it was just you were so unique in a good way. So I'm being nice. You were so unique in a good way.
Unique is a good way to put that.
No, you're just so charming. But I remember that, and I just remember afterwards talking with you and talking with Jenny and everything. And it's just certain people just stick with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sort of like a rash.
Yeah.
They just keep coming back.
Yeah, but a nice
rash. A rash of love. Although
if
I think
it was a rash that was
sparkly
and a good rash.
A
glitter rash.
A glitter rash. Deneen, you're my glitter rash.
Thank you.
Deneen, I mean it.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask because you and I have spoken quite a few times, but there's so much I don't know about your history. I know your illustrious career, but you're so creative and you have so many unique characters in your head. Some people call that clinical, but I call it a career. That's the laugh of someone who has a BetterHelp account. Now, Deneen, your family, is anyone in your family creative, or were you just a sort of golden glittery black sheep?
Yes.
Really?
Okay. I am the youngest of 8.
Oh my God.
Yes.
We were talking before the show. You're definitely Irish then.
Yeah. 8 of us. I do want to say, so I'm not that close to my family. We don't really have much of a connection except for my sister.
Oh, yes?
Dora, who is amazing.
We adore Dora.
Yes, and all my siblings are amazing, but Dora, I would say, is probably the other creative person. She's an author. She's a fantastic author. Yeah.
What does she write? What are some of her books?
Youth adventure.
Great, I love
things.
it.
Yes, which is what I like too, because my brain can't think too much past like the youth reading level.
Yeah, honestly, if it gets past picture books, I get a bit concerned.
It's hard.
I'm frightened.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's our brains. It's,
The only restaurants I'll go to are menus with pictures, because otherwise I get distracted.
Yes, you need to know what it looks like.
But tell me, you've got a lovely boyfriend. Partner, sorry.
Yes, that is okay, because they are non-binary.
Fantastic.
Yes, they're non-binary. They are a wonderful person who also does voiceover and stuff as well.
Do you know what I'll tell you? I think the word partner is only allowed for people who are dating someone who's non-binary. Otherwise, you come across as a cowboy.
My partner.
My partner.
Complicated. It's like,
it's tough, right?
What else? Sometimes we refer to each other as persons, each other's person.
That's very nice. I like referring as like each other's sweetheart. I think that's very nice.
My love.
My love,
and
good.
As you know, so we are both queer, and it's always, especially when you are in a relationship where it can come across as quote unquote straight passing,
heteronormative, yes,
blah blah. It's like, all the time, like, people get confused, and then so we just say partners, because usually I've had people who are like, oh, partner, who is she? And I'm like, oh, them.
Yeah, you automatically must be a lesbian.
Yeah, exactly, which I could.
Could be. I mean, people think I'm a lesbian most days, so
but it's a good thing to be.
Mainly because of the haircut. It's great. Yeah, it is. It is good. I mean, I love building IKEA furniture. But how did you meet?
At a mocap thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a class or
it wasn't
you were
even
doing
a class.
job?
It was I don't even know how to explain it. It was like this person who directs mocap and stuff was doing like a speaking event.
Oh, cool.
And actually, talking about tea and gossip.
Oh, go on.
I went because of somebody else at the time who totally, we will not get into that story too much, but they were not a nice person.
Oh.
And I went, and that person totally made me feel like CRAP. It was a weird thing. They ignored me and acted like they didn't know who I was, even though we had been chatting for a bit.
You've been chatting in a romantic fashion.
And then all of a sudden I felt really bad by the end of the evening, and I just wanted to get out of there.
What
because
the hell?
I felt, yes, I know. And I felt so bad, and I just felt bad about myself, and I wanted to get out of there. I didn't even want to chat with anybody. And all of a sudden I heard this person they were somewhat obnoxious, but I was like, who is this person who's more obnoxious than me? Who is that? I was like, they caught my attention, like just the sound of their voice. And I literally was at the door to leave, and I turned around and I was like, I want to find out who this is. And I went up and just basically plopped myself in front of these three people who were talking and was like, hi.
Hi, you sound like an ass. I like that.
That's pretty much what it kind of was. It was like, and they were trying to trick me. They were trying to tell me that their name was something that it wasn't. And
what?
Yeah, it was funny. They were trying to be funny. There were three of them, and they were trying to be funny and be like, oh, my name's this and this and this. And then, I kind of got them at the end of that when I was leaving, though, because I called them by that name, and they wanted me to actually call them by their real name. So they thought, at that point that I didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, but I tricked them.
Do you remember the fake name?
So it's close to their real name, and it was, so they would say that their name was Alex
or
Alexi, and that's not their name.
No, their name's Thomas, which is crazy.
It is Thomas the Train.
Thomas the Train, not Thomas the Tank Engine. Because
no, Thomas the Train.
He's a whore.
Thomas the Tank Engine can just...
I've said it for years. Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas,
You can go fuck yourself, Thomas. Go get in someone else's tunnel.
Thomas the Train.
And
I thought we were trying to be anonymous here.
Oh, we are.
You just outed.
By Thomas the Train.
He was Thomas the Train, but you just outed him.
We'll bleep it. It's fine. But everyone will know as soon as I go bum 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 bum.
We do not like Thomas here.
No, we're an exclusively anti-Thomas podcast. Yeah. Including, there's an Australian actor named Josh Thomas. And he was in a show out here called, oh God, I don't remember, something about mental health.
It wasn't very good then.
No, not very good. But he was in a great show in Australia called Please Like Me. It was so funny, this show.
So it's like all of us.
Yeah, honestly, mate.
Please Like Me.
I was in Los Angeles and I opened a specific dating app and he was on it and I went, oh my God, he's like, that's Josh Thomas. That's so cool. So I messaged him and I said, hello. And he didn't reply. And I messaged him again and I said, how's it going? A moment later, heard nothing. And I thought that's a bit funny. I can either ignore this or I can enjoy it. And so I decided to enjoy it. I messaged him again and I said, come on, Josh, please like me. And then...
How could he ignore that?
He instantly blocked me. But that's part of the fun.
But, that's on him. He's missing out.
What an idiot. Now he can't be on the podcast.
I mean,
You're out
all Thomases are banned.
Yeah, banned.
I mean, we allow cabbages.
1 cabbage
but not
per show.
Thomas.
0 Thomas. Deneen the Goblin Queen.
That's me.
What a pleasure.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your amazing creative life.
Creativity. That is so funny.
Because we're sipping tea. We're both having Irish breakfast tea.
I haven't even had my tea yet.
It's very good.
I know it's good. Even though I haven't
That's
had it.
It's a bit threatening, Deneen. I know it's good. And if you say it
there
again...
is a reason why I play a lot of villains.
Well, just based entirely on personality. Is that your scariest noise?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get there.
If I did my scariest noise, everybody would probably die.
Well, my ears are already bleeding. But great actor. You work constantly, all the time, and well-deserved. When did you start acting? When did this first happen for you?
So acting in general, long story, and so many people have heard this story, so I apologize if you are going to get bored. I am still a dancer, but I was primarily a dancer like in my teens and up until my early 20s. That was my career. That's what I was training for intensely, like ballet. And I, had an injury that was pretty bad.
What'd you do?
I broke my foot dancing.
Now, I don't know a lot about ballet. Is that bad?
It is so bad. I had 2 different surgeries because the first surgery, they did not do what they were supposed to do for my foot. And then it took me, another year to ease back into dance. And then I danced again for a few more years, but it got to a point where I was at I can say some names, right? Because it's not bad. I was doing a summer program with Ballet Austin, but I was struggling. At that thing, and it came down to a point where I had to be honest with myself. I think it's really hard for us when we're creatives or we're very passionate about something. Ballet was my world. It was my world, and I had to be honest with myself that I was struggling. If I was struggling in a summer workshop, and I couldn't and they weren't terrible to me. They really liked me and everything, but I could not keep up. And I was like, how can I do this as a profession? Because as a ballet dancer, you are required to be dancing every day.
Yeah.
It requires a lot.
Bleeding feet, go nuts.
Yes,
do it.
Yes,
You've got to do it.
I love the bleeding feet. I have a very high pain tolerance, and bleeding feet, I can do it. I had to be honest. And so it was a very hard decision for me to make that decision of not pursuing ballet professionally anymore.
Do you remember that moment where you were my dream?
I do.
Because that's hefty. That's heavy.
It was, I call it my center stage moment. And,
okay.
Dancers and anybody who's seen that movie will know. It was a moment where they took every dancer in and talked to them, and and they said great things about me as a dancer and stuff, but they were concerned about, they noticed that I was favoring my foot and everything like that.
Right.
And it was interesting because they also said to me that, whether you continue dancing or not, you are creative. Just look, they said that to me.
That's
and
very
that sat
nice.
with me. They were like, without even really knowing me, they were like, just like watching you in class and watching you, there's something about you're going to go on and perform and be creative.
Great.
But I had that, and they weren't discouraging me from dancing at all. They wanted me to keep dancing. But I think that they knew that I was struggling. Of course they knew. And I was struggling. And it hit me when they mentioned that, and I was sitting there with them, that I was like, I can't do this. I'm there because we were dancing and we got to see, the company and stuff working. And I was like, I can't do what they're doing.
That
Not
hurts.
honestly. And the thing is, they were offering, positions for people for like apprenticeships and stuff. And I knew that if I would try to take one of those spots, I'd be taking it from a dancer who could do it. And that's always hard too. It's a lesson in humility and stuff too, that sometimes it's like we know that should we take something even though we could, And so I disappointed my parents who really, it was interesting. My parents actually wanted me to be a ballerina. I don't know why, because they were not, that creative or anything. But I think it was like, oh, we can have a ballerina in the family. They were very upset with me that I just went ahead and made that decision to quit. But
you made that decision. It was for your health and longevity.
It was for so many things. And the thing is, it actually ended up being a great thing for me, because what happened is I moved to Chicago.
Great.
And decided to try other things. And I already had acting experience. I've done I did, of course, theater in school, and I did community theater and stuff like that.
Excellent.
And I was like, let me try acting. Did
you go to a school, or did you go to a theater, or what did you do in Chicago?
Somewhat lucky in that I pretty much started booking. I did indie films, so horror, Scream Queen stuff, which I love.
Luckily doing indie films.
My very first audition, I just auditioned for this television pilot that never, of course, went anywhere. And it was just a couple of lines, and I got it. It was my very first thing.
Amazing.
And so it kind of got me hooked, where I was like, I really like this. This is fun. It's creative. And then I went on an audition for these horror films with this director who I have to shout out, Anthony Sumner, who I just adore. And I got cast in his anthology, and it's one of my favorite projects. It's called Slices of Life, and the scene that I was in, the little segment, was called Pink Snapper. And it's exactly maybe what you think it is.
Again, sorry to the young fans.
It's out there. It's out there. And I just loved it. And I think it was completely covered in blood.
Of course, Deneen's Pink Snapper. That's what you'd Google. Deneen, Pink Snapper, covered in blood.
No, do not do
Google
that.
It immediately.
Do not do that.
Google.
Do not do that. Because I don't know what you will find.
You heard the cabbage. Well, so you're doing all these indie films. When you're in a padded cell talking to yourself for hours at a time, there's rarely, I'm not going to say never, times where you're covered in blood. So are you still having a great time? Oh, yeah, you get to see them covered in blood. They're screaming. Arms are ripped off. They're transforming into other characters.
Yes. But that's why I still do stage work and performance art, so I can get covered in blood.
Did you ever do the musical Carrie?
No.
That's a lot of blood in that. I'm surprised you didn't flock to Carrie.
But I am hoping to do the musical Cats.
Oh.
Which is my favorite musical
What would you
of all
be?
time.
Would you be Skimble Shanks the railway cat? That's the best
because
cat.
I don't like trains.
Oh, that's right. Fuck you, Thomas.
No.
Andrew Lloyd Webber. Fuck you too for bringing him up.
Now they're going to make a train musical. Just what?
Well, talk about Starlight Express. The whole musical is about trains.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, I only found out about a week ago what Starlight Express is about. Do you know what it's about?
No, and it's really funny because I love Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh my.
But I have no idea what that one is about.
So Starlight Express, for those who don't know, Andrew Lloyd Webber, he did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which I love. He did Phantom, which is fine.
Cats. Jesus Christ Superstar.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
And
Yes.
I don't know
How
how
to
to
love
love
him.
him. Which Melanie C, Sporty Spice, does the best.
Very good job. Tim Minchin was in that.
Oh.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Tim Minchin wrote Matilda. The musical. Yes.
Oh, I do love that musical.
Yes, great musical.
I saw my good friend Lauren Mayfield in that musical. She played Miss Honey. She was beautiful.
What? My good friend Elise McCann played Miss Honey in Australia.
Wow!
What a couple of honeys.
Oh,
Couple
I
of
could never do that because
honeys.
we're just not. I'm not a honey.
But if you were to sit on my shoulders, then we put on a big trench coat, we could be Miss Trunchbull.
Yes.
Imagine that.
I'm all for that because
I love
would
that.
rather do that.
I'd rather do that. I'd love to be the villain in a musical, but I'm too short.
Well, I'm too short. Hold on. I'm having trouble with my teeth.
You're having a lot of trouble regardless.
Now they have to see my bad side.
Block it out. Cut it. Cut the whole thing.
Don't show that. Don't show my bad side. My
God, that's beautiful.
Which, if I look lovely, by the way, it's because we have filters and lights.
We have a lot of filters. We have a lot of lights.
I don't really look like that.
And most of you will be listening to this audio-based, and thank God. But what you're so lucky.
You know what I do have to say?
Yes.
We really are very like-minded. We are jumping all over the place.
We're all over the shop.
It.
This is
I love it.
hell. I love it. I love it.
It makes sense. I think we're both, again, in the same. If you get it, you get it. I think a lot of people are going to get it because they're probably in the exact same. I call it kindred brain spirit.
That's interesting. Some people would call it autism, but
or ADHD.
ADHD.
Which, you know what?
Go on.
It's so funny because I have my whole life, and I'm sure you have related to this, have struggled, and people just think, you're just so weird. There's something wrong with you.
Being able to focus and things like that. It's tough.
I was in trouble all the time in school.
Were you?
I had to go to speech therapy. I had to go, which is funny because now I'm a voice actor.
Yeah.
I had to go to some behavior things and stuff like that. And
you were trying to cover yourself in blood every day. I'd put you in therapy
so funny,
too.
But then it's sometimes, I think now it's become a more common topic that people talk about it, and it's more open. I have had several people just flat out be like, "Oh no, Deneen, you don't have this. You're not weird. You just have ADHD." And I'm just like, "Huh, you're right."
Girls are usually diagnosed either super late or not at all.
Yes.
Did you get a fish diagnosis?
I just went and had my physical checkup.
Yes.
I'm coming up to a certain age, and
22.
Yes, of course.
Congrats.
The doctor, thank you. It was really hard to get to 22. I went through a lot to get here, and
it's been a journey.
It was such an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
My doctor.
Yes.
My doctor.
Yes.
We were just talking about things, and stuff like that. And I was just rambling like I am right now, and and
hard to believe.
She had a smile on it, and she goes, "Have you ever been diagnosed any type of neurodivergentness and anything like that?" Just kind of put it out there. And she just brought this up, and I was just like, "No, but I have my suspicions, and I had seen a therapist before who kind of we've talked about it." And she goes, She goes, "'Cause I see the signs." She goes, "It's not a bad thing." And just, I think too, it's hard to make eye contact. Right now, I'm looking at you because
you're doing great. It's a trained thing. Eye contact. I used to be meh, and someone was like, "Are you trying to look for a fly around here?"
That's why I think acting and all type of creative things are really good for anybody who, even if you aren't, as we say, properly diagnosed or officially diagnosed, it's great for you because it's one of the things that actually, I think that's why ballet helped me so much, because in school I could never pay attention or really focus, but ballet, it was but I need to.
Well, also ballet is such a physical thing. You're using every aspect of your body,
and
whereas
I love
at school you're just sitting at a desk. Duh.
But even with acting, I actually think film acting was one of the best things that helped me learn that, because you have to, it's important to connect with your fellow actor.
Right.
You talk about growth and stuff. Throughout the years I have learned, I don't want to I've learned now that they're called meltdowns and burnout, but
Okay.
I would have times where I would just get so exhausted without realizing that's what it was.
Right.
And just like, whether it was at the end of a convention or at the end of like a day of filming or like being in a really hard voiceover session and not understanding why I was feeling that way and just crying and getting upset, and like it's because I was masking so much and not realizing that it's okay to have boundaries, and it's
Yeah.
okay to speak up for yourself, and it's okay to be yourself. Like nowadays, it's like why I have my cabbage. I actually bring like a little thing into the booth that I squeeze, and like a little squishmallow
Mm.
and squeeze, and it helps me because I'm channeling my energy somewhere and in that anxiety somewhere instead of just holding it in because you're taught to.
I think it's a really important thing for people to, and it's rare I'm sincere on this show, but I'm fully in agreement that the older I'm getting, so 22, I'm realizing how important it is for like taking a break
Yeah.
and being able to say to
Yes.
someone, actually, can we like move our event to tomorrow or something, because I
Mhm.
just need to shut the door and have a nap or read a book or meditate or something just to reset, especially after
Yeah.
being in a high octane booth
Yeah.
for 3 or 4 hours, or even doing mocap where you're
Yeah.
crawling around a floor or shooting something and doing flips and acting and whatever 100% on. It's tough after getting home
It
and just like
is.
wanting
It
to lay
is.
down and just never sort of be acknowledged ever again.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but again, being in the business for as long as I have, even just like 10 years ago,
Mm.
it was like you would always have to be on even afterwards and be professional. Like if you don't do this or if you don't attend this event, like, and stuff like this, it's all about the hustle.
Mm.
And I think it has become a topic of conversation that, hey, we all think differently.
We
We
also
all
all
have
have
different
limits.
brains, and we do have limits.
Yes.
And now, like, I do the same thing. I'm much more open with people where I'm like, I'm sorry. I know you invited me to this thing and you want to hang out, but I don't have the brain capacity
Yeah.
for it. I just don't. Or,
My battery's empty. I
yeah.
just can't. And I used to, years ago, in my younger days, I used to
Days.
push through and be like,
Yeah.
it's just, you said you'd go to Emily's party, just like show up for a couple hours. And then there are points where you're there. And I remember I used to be like, oh, this is actually fine. I'm fine. And then I'd like walk outside for a moment and just like plummet to zero and be like, I shouldn't have said yes. I need to go home. I need to
Yes.
crawl in a ball and eat French fries. But
Yes.
that's most days.
I love French fries.
I love French fries.
Ooh. But
Curly fries, great.
I love curly fries.
Love
They're
a
my
curly
favorite.
fry. Curly fries are the best fries.
They
Sorry.
are. I was just going to say, even I feel like it helps. You know why? Because people who get it, and they appreciate it more.
Mm.
Even with you, I remember I told you when I forgot, I thought I had responded to you or had seen the message and I didn't see it. And I was like, I'm sorry. It was my brain. But it's like people appreciate it because I think before I used to like try to make up excuses if I
Yes.
forgot something, or like instead of just being very upfront and being like, sorry, it really was my brain and I
Yeah.
had this thing. And sometimes I tell people, it's this and it's this. And I've learned that a lot of people, even within the industry, whether even professionals,
Mhm.
they totally get it and they respect it more, which is great.
It's great. The only thing I'd say is don't, gesture at me when you say professional, because I don't even know if I'm wearing underwear right now, and I really
I'm
can't be held
not.
accountable. Oh. Okay, again, don't Google. What was the name of that section you were in?
I mean, but like I'm not wearing a bra. Bras suck.
I really feel like this podcast has gone off the rails. Which brings me back.
Chaotic energy.
Trains.
Trains. Stop talking
Starlight
about
Express.
trains.
I want to tell you what Starlight Express is about. I found out Starlight Express. So
Wait, is that
yes.
the one with one look? Is it that song?
Oh, I don't know that song,
I think
so probably.
it is. Okay.
Because I don't know it.
Yes.
But Starlight Express is a roller skating musical. There's a bunch of people
No,
on roller skates.
no.
They're custom built. There's a Starlight Express theater where you roll around. They like skate
I thought
between
that
the
was
audience
Xanadu.
and stuff. I think there's a lot of roller skating going on, and people doing theater and also drugs, and then you've got roller skates. But
Trains.
and this musical Starlight Express is about two competing trains
No.
competing to get to, like, this destination.
No.
And so it's a bunch of people, like, in conga lines on roller skates singing, like, we're gonna make it to the place for the first time.
How did I not know this?
Because it's awful.
But people say that about cats, and I love cats.
Well, Cats is awful.
No, it's not.
Cats is bad.
No,
Cats is.
it's
It's a
not.
bunch of poems that Andrew one day went, this'll do. We're moving on.
Jellicle cats, come one, come all.
Yeah, and they all should be put down.
No!
Everyone in Cats should be
Oh
declawed.
my gosh, do not listen.
Yes, Declaw Your Cats, the musical. Okay, so this part, IMDb, because my name's Leigh, IMDb, with Deneen Melody. Now, you and I are in a couple of things together.
Oh, we are.
We are in Rainbow High together.
I love Rainbow High.
Rainbow High's so much fun.
I love it.
I play an assistant who's very dramatic.
There's a picture right there.
Because I'm a narcissist. I put pictures of whatever I
love
play.
it. It's okay. My booth is full of my characters.
Mm.
I brought my character with me.
Yeah, actually, that is an expression of narcissism, says the man who has coasters with his own
I don't
face
have
on
that.
them. No, I go to another level. And you play Stella.
I
in
do
Rainbow
play
High.
Stella.
Now, Stella has a doll, is that right?
Has a what?
Does Stella have a doll?
She does.
Oh, have you had girls come up and sign
Oh,
and
yes,
things?
yes, actually. And this is so fun. I used to be on LiveJournal because I'm old, 22.
22,
And,
yes.
We used to have I collect dolls and I collect toys and stuff. And a lot of my friends who I'm still friends with, we loved things like Winx Club and all of that stuff that also had dolls and everything.
Oh, yeah,
So
Bratz
it was,
also had dolls.
yeah,
But
but
Bratz were
I
little.
wasn't into Bratz.
They were sluts. And I mean.
Not into them.
No.
But it was just so funny because so many of them were so excited that, I was in this show and that I had an actual doll.
Yes.
And so I've sent some to some of my friends who
Very nice.
Yeah, who like this show. My friend Lori, she's great. She's still a big doll collector, so she loves the show. And
did you sign it for Lori?
yes, she asked
Good.
me to.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good. Did she pay you?
No, of course
Lori,
not. No, I don't know.
we're sending you an invoice. You can send it directly to me, and then I'll give Deneen a commission. So, unfortunately, my character does not have a
Which is wild.
doll, which is really upsetting. But when it came out, I was so excited to be part of it because it's a fun show. It's a really fun show. It's on YouTube and Netflix and whatever. And
we both play kind of like comic relief characters.
yeah, silly
which I
duffers.
love.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
My character, when I was in the booth, I think one of the clients was there and he said, we love the assistant. We can't wait to make a doll of him. Like, depends on how popular he is, but we love him. And I was like, oh, great. And then when it came out, I went on to, there's a wiki for it, Rainbow High Wiki. I went on and I had a look and I was like, what are they saying about the assistant? I'm finally on an animated series. This is great. And the feedback that I saw was, I love him. I love the character, but the voice is terrible. It sounds like it should not be coming from that character. And,
it's what happens.
And to that girl, I say, I hate you as much as I hate trains. Thank you so much.
It's okay. When Stella came out, because she's British, I'll just say, I don't want to say too much, but, maybe don't judge so fast.
What, judging British people?
Well, I mean, she's supposed to be funny.
Right.
And it's a kid's show. If you are an adult and you are like breaking down every little thing of a kid's show that's made for children, you can still enjoy it, but just know it's not made for you. So if there's a reason why, she's just supposed to be funny.
I'm terrified.
No, I'm just saying, people are gonna have these opinions and everything like that. And
Yep.
it was like, if they wanted, something that had perfect British, they would have cast that. They wanted her to be funny and stereotypical.
Funny and silly and
you're British, so you get it. It's just,
I get it, but I'm Australian. I'm like England's
right.
Texas.
That's right.
Yeah, come on.
You are British though,
I'm a
because
British,
Australian,
slave.
you're a dirty Brit.
Again, that's the end of the show. Thank you for coming, Deneen. I'm drinking tea, all right? I'm trying.
But I like Australia better than Britain.
Good. And rightly so. We have more dangerous creatures. We have more land.
Yes.
Yeah, you
I
hear
like
that,
your little
England? We've got
koala.
land.
I like
and
your
a
little koala.
Thank you. His name is Eugene.
Hi, Eugene. At least it's not Thomas.
No. If it was Thomas, that koala would be probably on fire. That's my bet.
But going just real quick to that.
I'd love to.
Yes, that girl who said that about you. Shame on you.
Shame on you. But I thought it was funny.
It is funny.
I in the acting industry, I've been rejected so many times. It doesn't. I'm not even aware it's happening anymore.
You know what? But I think sometimes it can be hurtful. I've had a couple, but one of the funniest things that was ever said about me in a voiceover performance of a character I love is that somebody was like, I will never forgive the company that put this thing out for hiring this Lala Loopsy head ass.
Lala Loopsy head ass?
For this character, it was something along those lines, and I remember it was supposed to be an insult, but I remember
that's the
reading
title
it,
of your book,
and
actually.
I don't think I ever cackled so loud because it was such a unique. Whoever wrote that, just know that it stayed with me, but not probably in a way that you intended, because I think it's hilarious.
We're in 2 other projects together.
Are we?
We're in Genshin Impact together.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yes, I play 50 characters in Genshin Impact, none of which anyone knows, but it's great fun.
But they're all important.
They're all important.
Because
they all
it's
say
all
silly
part of
things.
the world.
And hey, it's part of the world building, isn't that nice?
Isn't
and Fisherman
it?
number 6. That guy is the foundation of Genshin Impact.
I love Fisherman number 6.
He's the best one.
He's so much better than Fisherman number 5.
Fisherman number 5, I heard, has become recently problematic. In Genshin Impact, what's your character's name?
So, so I do have a main character, but aside
Yes.
from her, I have some NPCs.
Yes, you've got a few in there.
But some of them are popular, like Cheng Cheng. Everybody loves Cheng Cheng.
Cheng Cheng?
That's her name.
And what? I feel like we're going to have to bleep that.
No, she's so cute. She's
Cheng
a
Cheng?
little girl. Cheng Cheng.
And what does Chen Cheng do?
She's a little girl who
Oh.
misses her dad.
That's very sad.
And then I was also Carol, who is one of the cute little Melazines, and she had a tragic backstory that actually made me cry. But yes, and then I have my main character who has yet to actually appear. You have all seen her if you're playing it in the trailer for the Harbingers.
Oh, very excited. Can we say her name?
Yeah, because she's out there, Sandrone. The
Classic.
marionette. I can't say anything else.
Don't. In fact, I don't want you to.
No, because NDA.
NDAs.
Not MBAs.
No.
NDA.
Neither of us are in the NBA.
No, we're too short.
Yeah, but again, once we've come off stage playing the Trunchbull,
Yes.
shoulders in a trench coat,
Yes.
bam.
Yes. You would have to be on my shoulders. I think I'm strong enough. I'm strong.
You are strong.
I'm very strong.
You hugged me when you came in, and I thought
Yes.
my back was going to crack.
Yes, I'm
But I liked
strong.
it. And we're also on Netflix together, not only in Rainbow High, but also in Romantic Killer.
Yes, that's right.
We're in Romantic Killer.
Yes,
Great
that's-
show, great anime.
Isn't it hilarious?
So funny. It was one of the first animes I got to do a voice that was like, and now we're gonna kill everybody, and it was like a very dramatic reveal, but it was also about someone wanting a wife to cook them
Yes.
lunch, but it
But I
was that
loved
level
it.
of intensity.
Yes.
Did you have a great time working on that
I
show?
loved it. And a lot of it too was so many of the people who worked on it are people I love and are good friends, like you and Jenny. Jenny plays
Yes.
my best friend in that show.
Does she really?
Yes.
Very nice.
And Courtney Lynn, who I got to meet, who plays Riri, and they did. It was so fun because we acted opposite. Ryan Colt Levy, who's also
Ryan
in it.
Colt Levy, lovely.
Yes. So bunch of people, but I had so much fun because prior to that, I had played leads in some video games, and which can be different because unless it's a very particular video game,
Yes.
there's not a lot of like character growth or anything like that. And I played some bigger supporting characters in anime, but I had yet to play like a lead where I got to be in every episode and really
Yes.
grow. And I still feel so lucky that was my first lead because she's such a special character in a good way.
What do you love most about her?
That she has so many levels to her, and that she's so different for, especially in anime, a heroine, for the main character.
Yeah.
She's
not there to be ogled by
no,
anyone either.
She's so she's against the stereotypes, you know what I mean? And I loved that I got to use every bit of my voice. I've talked about this in interviews before, and it's true. I got to use every level of my range, every different type of voice, because it was important to me to match, the Japanese and honor that performance as much as possible. And that's what she did. And I was like, I'm going to do exactly, or at least try to do what she did. And you don't get that a lot. I mean, sure, you'll get characters who scream and stuff, but
Sure, but the emotional range you don't often get.
Yeah, and to do both comedy and then have the dramatic scenes too, I just felt very lucky to have her. So I wish we get a second season. I still hope. I know that they said maybe not because of the creator, but I still hope that maybe we will.
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because I think the character's best friend that I play should honestly have more screen time.
Yes.
And that's what I'm pushing for.
Yeah.
My four-lined character, I think, could really... I'm not going to say fan favorite spin-off, but if it happens...
If it happens...
It
will happen.
I'm not complaining.
What if your character becomes another one of my character's love interests?
Well, I believe it.
It could happen.
I believe it. He's got
Charisma.
The emotional erratic thing that I think would attract.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it works. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm so glad we're in a show together.
I know.
Multiple.
We're going to be in more.
We're going to be in more.
We're going to be in more.
You're also in some pretty you've got look, you've got a long career and you've been in a lot of projects. Some of my highlights, some of my favorites. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. We've got Smash Legends.
Yes.
Very cool. We've got Smite.
Yes.
Which I calculated the amount of times I've auditioned for Smite. I calculated over several years. I auditioned 211 times.
You know what?
For Smite.
I hear that story a lot.
I booked nothing.
But you're not the only one.
Really?
I know several people who have been auditioning for years before they ever book.
Yeah. At this point, I don't know if I ever will, but I keep doing it.
You will.
For a laugh.
Yeah, just to see.
Yeah,
just
I'm going to be like,
see.
They'll send creatures that are like massive, hunking, like jock guys, and I'll go, hello, it's nice to welcome. And I'm like, you know what? You haven't cast me in 211 times. You're going to get a surprise.
What? Yes. Keep doing your thing.
You're going to get a fun surprise.
Keep doing your thing. I think it's just a matter of luck. The first character I got was like... And it was actually one of my first auditions. I'm sorry. Not to be one of those people.
It was my first thing. I actually booked.
No, but it was just, this is what I'm going to say. Because after, I've auditioned a lot. But it was just that particular character just happened to be right in my pocket.
What was the very first one?
Scylla. And she was Monster Scylla. So she's a cute little creepy Medusa-like sea girl.
Bingo.
That's what I'm saying. It was like literally, when I say literally right in my pocket, like I had just played some other characters almost just like that. And it was right. It hit at the right time. That's all it is. I promise. So you just need to find
my Medusa.
Your Medusa. Your little train Medusa.
I think this whole podcast is just therapy for me. I'm being
You're gonna get it.
Told you, and look how endearing this is.
You will.
I will one day, and I hope it's on the big jock guy where I go, don't you look directly at the camera at me. That's my bit. Christ.
I've been doing this the whole time.
I've been paying no attention. This is hell. All right, well, the two biggest ones, for God's sake, pull yourself together. Fucking hell. I hate this show, Deneen.
Do you regret it now?
I regret going into that class and meeting you.
That's also what everybody says.
That's what your partner's like. I wish I never went to that mocap chat.
That's
50 years ago. Yeah, that's see, look at this. It's therapy for both of us. I'm getting out of therapy. You're being put in it. Now, our two head honchos I've got here that I really want to chat about, which I'm so excited to talk about.
Okay.
Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, which I think is one of, first of all, the best titles of a show ever. And you play Kitty, which is lovely.
Well, that's one of her. Kitty Noir.
Kitty Noir.
But it's Zoe Lee is the actual character. And her main Miraculous is Pollen, the Kwame Pollen. So she turns into Vesperia.
Of course.
But at one point she does take the cat Miraculous, and she becomes, instead of Cat Noir, Kitty. No.
Do you think that gives you the same emotional range as Romantic Killer?
No.
So the next topic...
But I will have to say, in some ways, yes. She's so that show does have some, hinted at queer characters, but she's the first one to actually openly...
Is she? I didn't know
Yes,
that. Is she
yes.
openly queer in the show?
She tells Marinette that she's in love with her. And it's so sweet. It actually makes me cry when I watch it. And like when I got to perform that, because, as a label pansexual, whatever, it means a lot to me when it does, have girls love girls, because you don't see it as much.
You don't see it as much, and also for it to not end up in one of them committing suicide, I think it's a rare story.
So even though it's not the same as Romantic Killer, I have had moments where it's like,
You've had emotional moments. You've had some catharsis, some release.
Yes. Love
God. I wish I could play a lesbian.
You are, though.
Thank you.
It's the hair.
This is good for me. And the other, we have Pokemon Masters.
Yes.
We have May.
Yes.
May.
Yes.
And additional voices.
Have I done additional voices? If I have, I don't remember.
Excellent.
This is what happens in voiceover a lot. People will be like, "You were in this thing," and I'm
Was
like, and it's funny because I used to hear actors be like that, and I was like, I would never forget. I would remember, and I'm like, actually,
I don't know.
But May. Yes.
May is the main.
Well, let me tell you,
May.
You're talking about your Smite thing. I actually auditioned for a few characters in Pokemon Masters and never booked. And all of a sudden, I had gotten an email where they were like, actually, we want you as May.
Oh, amazing. So you didn't even audition for the character.
No, but they booked it off of another, and that's why it's important to audition, because they booked it off of another thing. But it was for me, also very like, wow, I like her better than any of the characters I auditioned for.
And a bigger
because
character.
It's May. So I was like, but I had gotten to a point where I almost thought, I'm not ever going to be in this because everybody else is in it and I haven't booked yet,
Yeah.
So it happens.
All right. I wanted to do something I've never done on the podcast.
Oh, no. I'm scared.
I wanted to quiz you.
Okay.
Called Tea Rocket, which is I couldn't think of any other tea. Okay, that's that. It made me sick too. I'm gonna read 3 Pokemon.
Okay.
One of them's fake.
Okay.
I need you to tell me which Pokemon is fake. You're part of the world. You're officially in it.
Yeah.
I think I have to hold you to a different standard than the general public. I'm gonna read 3. One's fake.
Okay.
Okay. Hondolite, Clink, Probopass. Which Pokemon is fake?
Say the first one.
Hondolite, Clink, Probopass. All of them sound like medical conditions.
So, can I narrow it down? So it's not Probopass.
Okay.
Right?
You know that for sure?
Clink.
You think Clink's made up?
Because the other two totally sound like weird ass Pokemon.
Sound like weird ass Pokemon and venereal diseases. The made up one is Hondolite. Clink is a real one.
I almost went with that because it sounds like you just made up like the car Honda in light.
Oh, like a Bud Light.
Yeah. I knew it was not the last one.
Probopass.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, that's definitely, and I was like, Clink sounds too normal.
Okay. Well, you got 2 more chances to trust your instincts.
Oh my God.
And then we're going to spill some filthy tea.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah. 3 Pokemon. Ready? Vanillish, Warwarcoon, and Drifloon.
The third one.
Drifloon? Wrong again. It's
my-
Warwarcoon.
But that sounds like a real Pokemon.
Hire me on Pokemon and I'll make them up. I would never lie to you.
Yes, you would.
I would never lie to you.
I'm going to cover my feet.
I'm
there we go.
5'8". Okay. So we have 3 more. Ready?
Yes.
Love Disc,
Aw.
Swalot, and Vindle Snatch. Love Disc, Swalot, and Vindle Snatch. And again, venereal diseases.
Did you put these all together? Because it first started sweet and then it got worse as it went.
I'm going to say it as if it's a Harry Potter spell.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Love disc swalot vindle snatch. That's
Why
how
don't
Harry
they
gave...
hire you for the new Harry Potter?
I should be in the film. Actually, this is my official...
I mean, you're only 22, so you could still
I could...
pull off 18 to look younger.
I don't want to pull off an 18-year-old, but what I do want to do is I'm going to make an official campaign.
Okay.
I want to be Professor Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh, you would be perfect.
God, I'd have a great
But-
time. What? He's too old? Get off the show! Ah, God!
And it's Bindle Snatch.
It is Vindle Snatch.
I got one right.
Yeah, and everything else is just painful. Okay,
This is how you know we're friends.
we're insulting and crying.
Yes.
So,
You're not real friends unless you make each other cry.
oh, it's the Australian way of loving one another. You call your friends and you call your enemies mate. But also in America, we don't say.
Oh, yeah.
that.
Everybody's always like, it's
Doesn't
the
really-
worst word.
It's not
But
the
I'm
worst
like-
word. I think Vindle Snatch is the worst
I was going to say, stop it, you Vindle Snatch.
How? Stop. I'm
Stop.
blushing. Heavens. I was hoping to hide my
Have you
Vindle Snatch.
Vindle-
These are some tight pants.
Well, you're not wearing underwear.
That's true. Everyone can see my Vindle Snatch. Check out this
Mine are
love disc.
loose.
Good. Okay, I don't want to hear that. We're getting to the point here. This is the delightful stuff where you can spill some fun tea.
Ooh.
This is employee relations. So
I'm scared.
one of my first questions is, who is the worst director you've ever had? Talk about that experience. The worst or most interesting or surprising, but we're going to spin the wheel.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
no one says, where's Gleason? Okay. Okay, ready? We'll spin the wheel.
Vindle Snatch.
For this story, well, we can do Vindle Snatch. It landed on
Is it train?
Minnie Quail Trench. It's a hyphenated last name. Minnie Quail Trench. Yeah, so you can call them Minnie or
Vindle.
you can go Vindle Snatch if you'd
Vindle
like.
Snatch.
Okay.
I'm trying to give people space and grace.
Yes.
Space and grace. But I think for me, one of the worst experiences I ever had was when I was, first starting off in acting.
Mm.
Being, in my early 20s and really not having the experience yet. And there was Vindle Snatch, the director. They did student films because
Okay.
they helped people, students. They were like a teacher.
Oh,
and
okay.
everything.
Sure.
But they did their own films. The reason why it was so bad working with this person is that they were extremely abusive. And I actually filmed one thing with them and then it never came to light because it wasn't perfect enough. And then they cast me in another thing and they would scream at me, call me names. There was one time when we remade films, and whatever. They probably had, reasons that they were hurting and stuff, but it was very, very toxic. And it took me a long time to realize that it was toxic. I kept working with them.
Oh
but
my gosh.
There was one time, and again, I hadn't learned yet. I hadn't grown a backbone and really knew that like what was happening was not okay. They called me because they were unhappy with something and something and something. And they told me that I basically ruined all of their movies.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's why and to me though, I did have a moment where I was like, but you kept casting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a you problem, actually.
But I ruined it, and I ruined everything, and all of the stuff like that, and it was really bad. And they would like scream at me, and nothing was ever good. That's just the gist of it. But I had friends who would actually come and work on the films. I had one friend who was a stunt person and stunt coordinator who actually would not work with him.
Really?
Yes.
After one experience was like, no thanks.
Well, because they saw, they didn't like how I was being treated.
Yeah.
And I did, though, have another friend come and, they stayed on the project, and they kind of took care of me on that project. This is how bad it was, in a way.
But this is a student film.
Yes.
You're talking about, needing support on a student film. Bye, freaks.
And, I ended up distancing myself after a while. And part of it was, you want to talk about tea, I one of my exes, but I was with them for quite a while, I met on one of those film sets, and I
Oh.
think it bothered this director.
Oh, the director might have liked you,
Vindersnatch.
and I see Vindersnatch.
And they got very weird, especially after that.
Yes.
Yes.
That seems to be a repeated occurrence.
You hear it a lot.
You
and
hear it a lot, but you
happens.
also hear it a lot with like indie theater, or just like
It's a lot of
people,
indie things.
people with no like real control
Yes.
love to control the
Yes.
stuff they like
Yes.
they have in their grip, and it's an iron grip,
Yes.
and it's a bit spooky.
And it was hard. I mean, like, I think as I got older, I then realized,
Mm.
how bad it actually was and what this person actually put me through.
God.
And and it actually, it's bad because a lot of that experience that I had with Vandersnatch, Snatchy Snatch, affects me even still today. I get almost like performance anxiety, and I have that PTSD where sometimes when I'm in the booth and I have a director maybe not intentionally maybe say something a particular way to me,
Right.
I instantly go to a place where I'm like, like it really affected me. And I have gone to therapy for it and it's better, but like just having experiences like that, directors, don't do that. Don't hire and don't cast people because you're attracted to them and you're hoping something will happen, because you're just going to mess up people, and yeah, it's bad. So they were a bad director. They tried to follow me on Facebook too, and I just couldn't do it. Recently, I just couldn't do it.
Oh, they came recently.
And if they're watching this, it's like I don't hate you or anything, but there's a reason why I'm not going to add you. You really, really did a number on this brain.
Deneen.
Yes.
That sounds truly awful.
Yes.
I'm so sorry you went through
It's
that.
okay. It happens to
shitty
when I
experience.
say it's okay, it's not okay.
No.
But it happens to so many people.
The thing is look, when I went in with the intent of being like worst director, like, oh, this guy was like a diva or like something, but we're talking about a sincere and horrific experience.
Yes.
And I'm glad we are, because the more it's discussed, situations like this, the more light is shined on it, the more people can be not only aware, but also be comfortable saying, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable here. I'm going to go, which honestly most of my podcast guests have done, and I'm still waiting for you to do.
No.
But we'll get there.
But and then to put a positive light on it, I mean, I think one of my biggest things, and I still sometimes struggle with this, I don't like to say this, but I think sometimes my mistake is that I can be a little naive, and that I do want to see the good in people, and sometimes I want to give people a chance, and it always backfires on me. And I think, though, it's happened a lot for me in my career, but I have finally gotten to a point where I'm starting to see signs. And again, we talked about, like, with ADHD and autism and stuff, and putting my foot down on certain things. I've grown. So I'm in a much better place than I was. And I think I'm very grateful for that, because some people don't.
Yeah, some people, some people don't get help, and then they're trapped.
And it's really sad. And that's why it's like, I think it's important to discuss it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's important also to have representation of this type of stuff, not only